Hi, Scott. ROCKFILE back with a podcast for your ears. Going to talk about Brad Arnold, the lead vocalist of Three Doors Down, who passed away this morning. For those that don't know, Brad Arnold, or Bradley Arnold, was the lead vocalist, former drummer, and one of the founding members for Three Doors Down, a band that came to worldwide success with one song that he wrote when he was 15 years old. Band continued to tour the world for the next 25 years. Multi-platinum albums, a lot of hits on the radio, not just rock radio, but pop radio. They're even on AC radio these days. And I was lucky enough to meet Brad at the very beginning of their career, right before things took off. And then I met him over a decade later. This guy was the same down-to-earth, good old boy type human being from the Deep South. They were from Mississippi. He was just a real person, a real dude. I met a lot of these musicians over my career, and very few of them I could say was just nothing changed about him in all those years and all that success. And I don't know, it's just pretty amazing. And when he was diagnosed with this last May of 2025, he had a very heartfelt announcement. It was very positive. He was going to fight it. They discovered it at stage 4 kidney cancer in May of 2025. They were scheduled to come play a show with us up here in Alaska, and they had to cancel the tour. He's been fighting ever since, and then on February the 7th, 2026, he passed away quietly at home. He was 47 years of age. Like I said, Kryptonite he wrote at the age of 15. He brought it to the band. I have a lot of rock and roll stories that I'm going to eventually put in a book or something. I'm trying to lay them down in podcasts now. So back around the year 2000, 99, 2000, right when they were starting to take off, a good friend of mine who also worked for Universal Records brought them to do a charity show in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I had a rock station. We put the station on in 99. It's still on the air today, which is wonderful. It's on a different frequency, I think. But anyway, long story short, we got to spend a lot of time with the band. It's one thing to do an interview either backstage or when a band comes by a radio station, but when they're going to spend the day or two in town, they tend to hang out either at the venue, because where else they don't know anybody, they're going to hang out at a hotel, or they're going to hang out at the venue, or they're going to hang out at the radio station. So we spent a lot of time with Three Doors Down, and they were guided by this record rep vet from Universal. I mean, the dude knew what he was doing. He had dealt with some of the biggest bands of all time, and here he was guiding this band who was about to just explode on the worldwide stage. We did an interview with them. They played a couple songs acoustic in the studio. We had lunch with them. I think we ordered pizza. We just spent some time with these folks. And like I said, I ran into them later in my career. Backstage thing, got audience with us, talked about, hey, we met you guys in Chattanooga, that show. Oh, yeah, we remember that, blah, 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 blah. And I have pictures from that original date. I look incredibly young in those pictures. Thank you. Long story short, a lot of rock stars are just real people. You sit down and talk to them. I don't care how big they are. They're nice people. I have very few negative stories to share about people I've run into in my career. But this is one of the best ones. I mean, warm, friendly, down-to-earth, interested in what you had to say, interested in how all of this works, that kind of stuff. Early in his career, years later on social media, I posted the pictures of that date on his birthday or whatever and tagged him in it. And I think his comment was, we were such babies back then. So anyway, he was a real nice guy. They did real good music. They toured the world. They have hits around the world. You know who Three Doors Down is if you heard one of the songs. Anyway, long story short, I wanted to post something about Brad Arnold because I've actually known the guy, talked to the guy, interviewed the guy, hung out with the guy. He was a really good guy from the beginning to the end. Sad that he passed. His music will live on. So listen to some Three Doors Down today. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. I'm going to do more podcasts. I'm in the midst of a move right now, but I stopped to do this and a live show on the radio. And hey, sometimes, rock and roll takes precedence over everything else in my life. It's why I do what I do. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.